Good morning, futures traders. Today is Monday, January 30th. The time is 9:49, 20 minutes after the open. We're going to be doing something a little different today. We're going to be using Ripper X Black on the NQ using the 25 bar size. 3 contracts, 2 for a first position, second for a runner. A lot of you have been asking the question, well, how do I make 300 to 500 consistent?
Order
What do I look
submitted.
for? So we're going to be using 3 contracts today and just show you how you do it. So 20 minutes, don't trade the open at 9:30. Wait for at
Order
least 15
canceled.
to 20 minutes. Let it figure out where your direction it's going. Look for
Order failed.
these types
Order submitted.
Movements, right? You have this long movement, slight pullback. You have this moment, you have some pullback here above the trend line here. Then engage the software. As you can see, we're up about 370.
Order canceled.
Okay, we were in a runner. Probably going to turn it off at this point. Our account is up 487, right? These are the things you look for. And when this trade is done, stop. You don't need to go after any more. We use a ton of contracts. We used 3. Like I said, use 2 for your first position, 1 for a runner. Again, you don't turn it on when it looks like this. So anytime you're in something like this, you don't turn it on. When it breaks out of this and you see this, here's where you turn it on. So I was a little late to the game because I was preparing to do the video. And this is a perfect setup. Okay. We're getting into some of this chop again. Okay. And I encourage you to look at the price action. Okay. Look at the price action, right? The price is between the trend lines. It's between this chop. You don't turn it on. Okay. It's discretionary trading, right? I understand, but you can see we would have gotten stopped out. We made $350. You stop. Okay. Think about it. Just take $300 a day. Don't get greedy, right? Let's say you went 4 out of the 5 days. It's $1,200 a week, right? Do the math on that. 52 weeks, over $60,000. Okay. No need to go crazy. No need to shoot for the fence every day. You don't need to take 500 trades. Don't need to overtrade. You let it run, right? You avoid these areas. You look for price. Okay. So that's the example. It's not difficult to see these areas, right? You can see. Let's just take a look back. Again, the software's off now. I'm up $350 on this account, so I'm going to stop for today. This is not a good place to bid. Okay. Another thing is you look at the shading. So you have a gray, which signifies your trend is going up. It's black, you have it going down. Usually, not 100% of the time, usually, most of the time, like I said, not 100%, when it starts to break out of some choppy areas, right, the first trade after it changes color is usually a good one. Here's a good example of that. We were starting to break through this area here. We did. Pulled back. It's the first one in this color, and you would have had a winner. Probably enough to stop for the day. It's not probably, definitely enough to stop for the day. Okay? Came back down. You wait. This would have been a winner. These would have won. Okay? Wouldn't have been ideal, but as soon as you started to see it do this, you would have turned it off. Okay? Again, here's another example. It went black on the background, signifying down, but it never reversed. So you wouldn't have traded there anyway. Okay, background changed to gray. It was a nice move out of this zone. Okay, first trade, gray area, shot up. You would have had enough to win and stop for the day. Again, I missed that because I was preparing the video. So that would have been the trade, one and done, 350. Okay. Again, you wouldn't be in this area here. Now, here we go. This is a good area for, um, a possibility to turn it on. You're below the trend line. Okay. Area is the background is black background, signifying a downturn. Right. You broke out of this channel. Let's get rid of this. Okay. Let's say I would have turned it on here. I'm not, because I've hit my profit target on this account. It would have taken the trade here. Guess what? You would probably, you would hit your target right here. Okay. 14 to 20 ticks. That's it. Okay. We would have hit the target. We would have been in a runner right now. Okay. So, like I said, I've had several viewers contact me asking. Hopefully this has helped. Again, 350 is what you shoot for. 350, 500 tops. Right? Sure. Can you go for more? Yeah. Do you have to? No. If you have multiple accounts that you're trading on, especially if you're using an Apex account, or using your live money account, you don't need to get greedy. Like I said, 350 a day gets you around 60,000 with losses, by the way. You calculate you're going to lose 1 or 2 days a week at least. Okay. You're going to time it incorrectly sometimes. It happens. Trading is not something that you're winning 100% of the time. Okay. But, let's keep observing this, right? So you've won that trade. That was the first one. Boom, done. All right. Now we are above the trend line. Okay, the background turned gray. I'm not going to turn it on because I hit my target, but let's just watch. Okay, it has some momentum behind it. You don't have a lot of wicks, so you have nice clean bricks. All right, there's a good opportunity potentially coming up here. Again, if you look at price, this was support earlier. Let's see if it turns into resistance. If it turns into resistance, it'll go this way. If it breaks through, which it just did, it's got nice momentum upwards. And again, you could see that. You could see, right? You don't have a lot of back and forth with the price doing this, right? A little bit here now. You don't have many wicks. You have a short wick here. You have a wick here signifying some buying. Okay. This would be a good opportunity. Potentially, I would probably start to think about turning it on here. When I start to see it turns white, right, and start moving in the direction, I would turn it on, right now. I would start to see it. All right. If there was a little bit more action, we would have turned it on. Here would have been our target. Let's see if we would have gotten the runner here. See, it's going back and forth a little bit. That would have been our target, approximately. Yep, and we would have been in a runner now. So hopefully this has helped. You can see it was the first trade, right? You would have hit a runner. You would have hit your break even. You might have been done for the day, depending on how many other trades you took. Okay, you can still see it's above the line. I usually don't take more than 2 trades in any given direction. Okay, let's see if we can find an example of what that means. So let's go back. Let's see if we could find that. There's another thing I look at. So let's say, that's probably not a good example. Let's look. So you could see a lot of these. Let's look for a long. Figures I might not find. Here's one. Here's a good example. Okay. We were in an earlier zone. All right, let's draw some lines. We were in an earlier zone here. We were here. Okay, we broke out, came down, back. Would have been the first trade. Okay, the trend line probably would have been here. I would have turned it on. You would have had a winner. Okay, we would have kept it on. You would have had another winner. Stop. We would have probably hit our 350 already there. Stop. All right. Typically, again, not always, what you're going to find is when you have a trend that's been going for a while and you have 2 trades, 2 successful trades, stop. Normally, not all the time, again, it's going to do what it's going to do. The markets are going to do what they're going to do. You're going to find that you'll start to get into these types of areas, or it'll continue for a while. The probabilities are not usually in your favor. 2, 3 trades tops. Just stop. Yeah, okay, you would have missed all this stuff, but that's not the norm. okay, sure, you would have missed it. And you were like, all right, well, guess what? You're always going to be able to find a trade somewhere. Okay. I usually stop after 2, maybe 3 trades. So again, you would have taken this trade, you would have taken this trade, and I would have stopped. Okay. Yeah, you can say, well, I would have had a lot more profit. Sure, you would have, but you might not have either. Okay. You might not have either. You might have stayed in this area here. You might have just stayed there. And that was it. You might have stayed, but you might not. Okay. So it's your call. If you want to go 3, maybe 4, you could do that too. But again, the probabilities are not in your favor that you're going to continue to look for something like this. So let's keep watching. All right. So now we took this trade, we hit it, we were done. You might have taken this trade, you hit it, you're done. That's it. Watch what's happening. Here's a great example. Okay. You would have had 2 good trades, then you would have lost it. Right? Because the probability is in your favor as a trader, right? It had a nice trend. You took two trades. The third trade, bust. Okay? It wasn't in your favor, right? Here's a good example here. We're below the lines. Area is black. This would be our first trade if we start to see momentum shift down. Okay, let's see. Okay, we have some back and forth. Not ideal to turn it on yet. Again, this is discretionary trading. It's not automated. It is automated trading because it's taking the entries for you, but we're looking at higher areas of probability and opportunity. Okay, so here we're looking like we have some momentum coming down. We're turning the bot on at this point, right? Maybe not. Let's see. I'm not going to do it live, but you'll get a feel. Nope. So I would keep it off still because we don't have these types of action, right? Where they're smooth, boom, boom, smooth, not a lot of wicks. This is a lot of back and forth, right? A lot of back and forth. So you can see it wouldn't have taken the trade, but now we're back with the gray area. We broke through this area here, right? We had this area here. We broke through it. Okay. Maybe we're going to continue an uptrend on a new here. Okay, we might bounce off of this now as a support area that used to be resistance, and then looks like we have some momentum if we can see this up. But again, it's back and forth. So again, you stop for the day. You don't want to lose that 350. Yeah, but it's not a lot of money. Yes, it is. It adds up. Okay, so hopefully this has helped. Again, like I said, a lot of my viewers and subscribers ask that question. Well, how do we do it consistently? That's how you do it consistently. Don't shoot for the thousands of dollars and $5,000. Apex doesn't help either with the trailing drawdown, so you want to be careful, right? You just be careful. You don't need to trade 10 contracts, right? Here's a good example of where we're starting to see some odd movement. But again, you see this moving back and forth. That's not a good sign to turn it on. Okay, there's no momentum here, right? There's no momentum, right? It's a back and forth type of action. There's no buyer. There's a lot of buyers. There's a lot of sellers. They're fighting it out. When you see this going back and forth, purple, back to white, back to purple, right? There's no clear direction on which way the market's going to go because price is bouncing. Buyers, sellers. Looks like sellers are beating the buyers right now, right? But again, you see how it's going back and forth, right? You don't want to be in that. You don't want to be in that fight. You're not big enough to be in that fight. You're a retail trader. You're not a institution. Okay, the sellers won that battle. You would have lost because it would have taken this trade here and you would have lost. Okay, so these are the types of things to look for. Hopefully it's helped. Have a great rest of the day, and we'll see you during the week.